Okay, so today during the live on Aurora's channel, I gave a brief channeled message on the reality that we are in our highest expression, as well as how it is that we are listening to light workers, from what state of mind, from what frequency. So, what I wanted to say was, first of all, I'm going to share the full message because I know I just gave tidbits of it, and it was kind of just scattered all over the place. So, the full channeled message was, um, as we shift in awareness of the reality within and around us, it forms a bridge to what wishes to be seen, heard, absorbed, and explained. So the key is to shift to the awareness of your highest expression. Oh my God, I should have asked if you guys can hear me on the live there. Oh well, we're doing this. I'm sure someone would have said something. So the key is to shift to the awareness of your highest expression. Thank you, Helen. And then once this message came through, I asked Divine Mother, how does one know what is their highest expression? Her answer was, as you peel the layers of your conditioning and all that holds you back from your sovereignty, you unfold into the truest form possible for the expression that wishes to come forth. And I'm not going to go into details about really all the scenarios in my life in which this would come about, but really how it is that you can make it into your own. So if we take that message that I just shared, that channeled message, shift in awareness. So what is awareness? What it is that we're paying attention to? What is that we haven't realized? Whether it's a trauma, whether it's a conditioning, whether it's a part of our old reality or new reality. So the key is shift in awareness of that reality that's going on within and around you, whether it's the old reality or the new reality. And that's what forms the bridge to what wishes to be seen, heard, absorbed, and explained. Now, if you're in for example, a fear-based reality or a reality of shame, a reality of guilt, that's going to form that bridge, and that's what it's going to show you. You're going to see it, you're going to feel it, you're going to absorb it, and it's going to multiply, right? So the key is to shift in that awareness in order for you to form that bridge of what is now new for you, of what your highest expression is going to be. That's what I took from it. And then, of course, how does one know what is their highest expression? Peel the layers, right? As you peel the layers of your conditioning and all that holds you back from your sovereignty, you unfold into the truest form possible for the expression that wishes to come forth. And when I say conditioning, I'm talking all the way back to childhood. I'm not speaking of just the last 5 years, just marriage or just our relationship with our sisters, our brothers, our mothers, our fathers. No, it's all of it. Start from the very, very beginning. Conditioning starts from the very beginning. It starts from the moment that you are 1 year old, and that 1 year old is not getting picked up by their parent. That 1 year old is not getting cuddled, and that 1 year old is now in that state where it realizes that no matter how much it asks for attention, it's not going to get it. It can't be nurtured. So that lack of nurturing, and this is just one example. So go back to that very beginning of your conditioning that's setting up that reality that's going on within you, so that then you can unfold from it, peel all those layers one after the other, one after the other. And we know that, yes, it's going to be exhausting. Yes, it's going to be work. but everything is. There's no other way to get around it. There's no other way for them to fall off and for you to go into your sovereignty without being aware of what that conditioning is, whether it's a negative conditioning or a positive conditioning. There's positive conditionings. Believe me, my son, even though it's a heck of a word, my son definitely tells me things that I was like, oh wow, that definitely comes from the way I'm raising my child. And I just see it as a positive conditioning because it's something, for example, um, that he wrote in a paper at school. So let's go back to what I mentioned during Aurora's live today, what we as a collective are doing. And that is the collective is listening to whatever is in front of them because they are hungry for information. And in turn, too many are connecting to light workers, not from the frequency of their hearts, but by their broken selves, their fractured selves, their traumatic selves. And what does that mean? It goes back to that reality that we have within us, whether we received love or not, whether we've been beaten down, whether we're just emerging from something that's traumatic and we just go to the first thing that we see, the first light worker. Or I have seen where there was this gentleman on Facebook and he's cursing the whole entire time at everyone and anything. And I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm looking at him and the energy that's emanating is just so negative, and it just made me feel so wrong within my body. Yet he had hundreds of people that were resonating with him, because in their reality, in all that they have going on, it's okay to be in that egoic state where, and I curse, it's not just because of the cursing, it's what he was emanating. um, Everything that he was sharing, the level of being awake and the people's conditioning in reality, it was resonating with that specific group. It was resonating with that tier of people. And then eventually, those people, they'll be on a different level and on a different level and on a different level. And it kind of sucks to say the word level, but it's really the reality of what we have to work with here, right? So I don't have a better word for what I mean to say than level. There's no way that we are the same person that we were a month ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. So there has to be a way to really explain what it is that I'm saying. That's the best way I can come up with it. So when you are connecting to a light worker, when you're connecting with me, is it from a frequency of I'm damaged and I like your hair and I just need someone, to connect to that's a brunette because I can only trust brunettes, something silly like that. It can be something really intense and something that's really deep, or it can just be something silly of what's the prettiest person or what's the most egoic person that seems strong, where we're not really noticing the difference between ego and a strong, passionate woman. There's differences, and unfortunately some people can't see the difference, and that's okay. It's all a learning process. So that's really what that means. The collective is listening to whatever is in front of them because they are hungry for information, and in turn too many are connecting to light workers, not from the frequency of their hearts, but their broken selves, their fractured selves, their traumatic selves. And when I shared my experiences today on YouTube, on witnessing at a very young age, like I said, I was between 6 and 8 years old, a live supposed channeling, a live supposed, someone going into trance. And everything within me felt that it was completely wrong. It felt completely negative without me even knowing what the word was, right? And I knew I had to block this, and I knew I didn't want to be a part of this, and I wanted to push it away. So now at the age, at 35 years of age, as I peel those layers, I have to look at that situation that I had, that I experienced, that was a part of my childhood, my teenage years, well into my early 20s. And I have to put myself in the space of the message that I just channeled to you. And it is, I have to take it into account. Was this experience that I went to, and how, what I learned from it and how I feel now, is it coming from a space of ego? Is it coming from a traumatized part of me? Is it coming from a lingering belief that I have to, who it I'm listening to as a channel, that I have to kind of just sit back and watch whether they're coming from ego or not? So I have to put myself in that situation, and I have to investigate. I have to inquire with myself, do some self inquiry, and be like, okay, how is this experience hindering me or aiding me? Did those experiences throughout my whole childhood, are they positive, or are they keeping me back from something? Were they to teach me, or were they to throw me off course? If I don't question myself, if I don't question those experiences and the way I was brought up, there's no way that I'm staying true to that channeled message. And there's no way that I'm seeing if there's something that needs to be peeled off. And that is the key to this. I wholeheartedly believe that if we don't take that channeled message and put it in the direction of a whole series of events, circumstances, and upbringing, then we can't change that reality. We can't let everything and all the beliefs that are harming us to just kind of fall off. It's almost time to pick up my son from school. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. I just wanted to kind of let you know the full message, and just kind of explain myself, how I had to put myself in that situation, and kind of not test myself, but try to learn from my own experience whether it's aiding me or not. And I hope that you can do the same. I hope that you can take that channeled message and kind of just put things in perspective of what needs to fall off and what doesn't. What was for you to grow into the wonderful human being that you are, and what is something that just needed to happen. And let's see how you're going to deal with it. And that's pretty much all that we can do. We can do about it. That's it. That's all I have for you today. I really do have to pick up my son from school. So thank you for connecting with me. And yeah, just go ahead and keep following me if you resonate with the messages. Thank you so much. Bye.